Zendaya calls out a store clerk on Snapchat for, according to Zendaya, refusing to help her because of her skin tone. Watch.
So we just got out of this Vons. Now I'm trying to buy a lot of gift cards. Now there's some certain specific things you have to do when it comes to buying gift cards. There's some certain limits and some things, which is understandable. Okay, cool. So I'll take a less amount, whatever. But the lady that was helping us, I don't think she was a huge fan of our skin tone.
Not at all.
Not at all.
She was rude.
Extremely. In fact, I recall her not trying to help us at all, saying that we couldn't buy the gift cards.
Exactly.
And then throwing my wallet.
Throw your wallet.
Can't make this up. I just can't make this up.
Not at all.
You know?
Mad disrespectful.
This is what we deal with.
Because we black.
She literally.
She threw your wallet.
And she was like, you can't afford this, is how she looked at me.
Basically.
Girl, it was $400.
Just oh, $400. I'm done.
Long story short, there's so much progress to be done in our world.
Right.
Like, it wasn't like a throw. It was like a toss. She like tossed it with my card still loose. And my cards were loose, so like my card fell on the scanner and she was about to keep scanning the next person.
Yeah!
I was like, that's my card. Like, what are you doing? You know what? It's all love. You know, may she go on to have a wonderful life.
All right, now Zendaya then later publicly thanked the manager, because then I guess the manager went and helped her with the purchase of the gift cards. The manager also explained to a number of different media outlets that with the gift cards, she said that initially, not to say that there was an altercation, we're still learning more about the story, but that Zendaya wanted to purchase $400 worth of these gift cards, right? And the limit is $200 because they get people that come in there with stolen credit cards and charge a shitload on these stolen credit cards purchasing the gift cards, if that makes sense. But then the people that are at loss are the retailers. So that's why they have the limitations. And that's what, I guess, kick-started this. But there is a press release from Vons. The spokesperson says, quote, "At Vons, we strive to treat each and every customer with the utmost respect. There is a policy that limits gift card purchases using a credit card. Zendaya was able to purchase gift cards up to our limit, and we apologize for any inconvenience or misunderstanding. We respect Zendaya's voice in the community and similarly are committed to diversity and inclusion. Moreover, we understand that race is a sensitive issue in America and view this experience as a reminder that every interaction is an opportunity to treat each customer as we ourselves would like to be treated." Thoughts, 5 words or less?
Zendaya is invincible.
My Snapchat rants are better.
I hate racism and Zendaya.
Assumptions made on both ends, in my opinion.
Ooh.
I just don't think there's enough information here based on what we know, because we've only heard one story, to determine whether or not that store clerk is a racist,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
That vibe that I get from Zendaya is like this weird, just stretching out of the experience with her like yes man behind her. And they're all, it didn't seem like the way this affected her was given the gravitas that something like racial inequality deserves. And that's what rubbed me the wrong way
They were
about
smiling the entire time, too. I'm so glad you said that,
Yeah,
by the
it's
way,
just
because I
weird.
thought I was going to be the villain here and be like, I was cringed out
I didn't
completely
like the
while
$400
watching
part.
it. Like the $400, it's like, oh, it's nothing.
Nothing to me. I am
racial
Zendaya.
inequality is a very
$400
serious
is a
problem.
lot of money to
Okay.
a lot of people. So to be like $400, like no big deal, like that's a lot of money to a lot of people.
I think the reason why I was personally annoyed by it, obviously, it has nothing to do with Zendaya's race or skin. Zendaya's race
Zendaya,
or-
how dare you?
I'm sorry. I didn't know who this person was until last week. So Zendaya's skin color or anything, but because she's 20 years old, and I think I'm getting old now because I started to get annoyed by 20-year-olds being like, we're here, we're out here, we're doing things.
Great.
Yeah,
Listen to what I have to say.
Yeah. Wait.
I don't No, you get annoyed because she's 20-something, like.
No,
on
I was
Snapchat?
really annoyed by her style, like her rhetoric, the way she
So I'm
was.
gathering from you and Brett, just to be clear. So you guys didn't like how she went about it on Snapchat. You didn't like how she was composing herself and.
Because we're men telling
No, no.
women how to behave.
I didn't say that. I'm just asking: is it that you just didn't like that she was being silly? If it was a serious like.
You know,
situation
in
that
her
happened?
in her eyes, it's just that like, oh, this stopped being about racism and started being about you.
I think that's a fair point to make. Where it does seem like in the situation she felt that she was being discriminated against because of her race, and then and I think you see in the initial video. That's how it starts, and then it devolves into a funny Snapchat rant.
Right.
But my argument would be is that that's her medium. You know what I mean? Like that's her audience, and I think that it began maybe as like, whoa, what the fuck just happened to guys? What the fuck just happened? You know?
But
what I
I
mean?
just- I like-
and I can understand why that might not sit well with you.
But
Like
we-
the toss isn't like, okay, I just waited for something. If you're gonna start making it funny, make it funny. But that's the thing is like, I also don't see I don't see the clerk. Like I don't get the other side of the story.
That's where I want to come
And
from,
that's
because
frustrating.
here's the thing with assumptions. We all know that assumptions are dangerous, and believe me, I'm not saying that. Perhaps there's a number of different possibilities here. Let's go through them. Yes, the clerk could have been a racist and discriminated Zendaya based on her skin color, and that sucks. We don't know that. Zendaya doesn't know that. She had no actual proof, so that could be one situation, right? And you know what? I'm sure Zendaya has been discriminated against because of her skin color many times in her life, and perhaps she's heightened to that. Totally understand that, and that sucks, okay? Number two, maybe the clerk was just rude and having a bad day. Maybe Zendaya was being rude because she didn't understand the whole $400 limit.
Maybe it isn't even racism. Maybe it's ageism.
I was going to say that. Maybe, because most 20-year-olds, and she looks younger than 20, but let's just say she thought she was 20. Most 20-year-olds can't afford $400 worth of gift cards. And if you had all these prior thefts where they have a policy because of all these prior thefts, maybe they have a heightened, sense of monitoring that. So perhaps assumptions were made on both ends, but I do think that we need to be careful before calling someone a racist.
So my question for all of you would be, how do you think would have been a better way for her to have handled the situation? If she felt that she was, that there was a wrong
Don't jump
being
to
committed.
the conclusion.
Do you think that it was wrong that she expressed it on Snapchat? Would Twitter have been a better medium?
No.
I'm just
I
wondering.
think if she
can.
had like a bet, like she said a bunch of stuff happened and then said, I think that she didn't like our skin color. I just don't think what she said up to there necessarily connected with
Right.
evidence or anything like that.
I don't get the whole throwing of the.
Yeah.
So do you?
It just seems like she was like making
Okay, so this is me just trying to figure this out because I've been a store clerk before. So I have taken people's IDs and people giving me their wallet, and not saying that this is what happened, but if that's the case, that used to bother me as a clerk. Because that means I now have to lift the flap, look at your ID, put it back, take out the fucking ID and give it to the clerk.
I've
It
never
just
given
comes
my
up-
wallet to a clerk.
It's
before.
lazy,
Yeah.
and in my point of view, if I'm not saying this is the case, this is a separate case, but in my experience, I always took that as disrespectful. That I have to go and do your shit and then give it back to you. So I don't know why she would give the clerk her wallet. If that was the case, I think that's
Can we talk about
disrespectful.
something really important here for a second, though, while we're on the
Bella Thorne?
speculation train?
Yeah.
What was she? What I want to know what she was going to buy with the gift cards. I want to know what
Gifts.
kind of gift cards was she buying.
Right.
Like,
Gifts.
what do you guys
Starbucks,
think?
Target.
probably
I don't know.
Bass Pro Shops. That's the one that I'm like, I live in Southern California.
Why?
I have
Why
never
is there a Bass Pro Shop gift card? I always
Ever
think
seen
about
a
that.
Bass Pro Shop
I've always
anywhere
think
near
about
here? Like what the hell? I've seen Bass Pro Shops in Texas,
Yeah.
in a
Michigan.
Carolina or two.
Yeah.
But
They're
they
always
still
there,
sell
though.
them here. I
They
guess
always
online.
have gift cards. Why?
Online, I guess you can buy them. I've known Zendaya for a very long time.
Close personal
They go
friends.
way back.
I didn't
We
know
go way
this.
back to the Shake It Up days because Shake It Up on the Disney or whatever used to shoot on the same lot that our show shot at.
Oh shit, for real? I
Oh,
was
I'm
joking.
excited.
And I just remember this rambling wreck of entitled ass kids just rolling into the mess hall like just shits, just 3 total shits. This little shit, this The way I felt about Emma Watson, that's Bella Thorne. I'm just like, you're gonna be hot, and I can't look at you right now. Go away. And Zendaya, and they just sit there and be like, oh, my life is brilliant. My life is PR. And then they'd eat, and then they just fucking run away. And I was like, I can't wait to see what these fucking kids grow up into. And now I get to see it. But Zendaya has done, the thing is, like, Zendaya has done good stuff, and she stood up for the right things in the right way previously. And maybe I'm holding that to a higher scrutiny because I've seen her do it better, like, in the last few months. And this one, I'm just like, God, I hope you're not so full of yourself now. And yes, you are 20.
Right.
So, and I've been 20, and when I was 20, I was a total jerk, probably.
Right. And she could be totally right, too. It's just
And she
always
could be right. It's
just always
that's
good
what
to,
it was.
even if she's not right, like, you have to look at, like, why would she make that assumption? Because of all of her shitty experiences in the past of being discriminated against. So you have to have empathy for that, too. But in the end, it's always good to look at both sides. And as of now, we only have one side of the story. So that's why we're trying to be...
You don't follow Store Clerk on Snapchat?
I don't. Do you?
Weird.
What did Store Clerk say?
Store Clerk was like, I hate people who aren't Filipino like me.
All right, please share your
See,
thoughts.
you thought it was a white person.
Please share your thoughts in the
Racist.
comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe. We'll see you next time on Pop Sugar.